Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. Welcome back to the channel. We have the first impressions on the long-awaited Chieftain / T95 tank. Details of how this tier 8 British heavy premium will be available will come on the news portal very soon, hopefully tomorrow. And I'm quite excited to have this tank in the game. It's a tier 8 premium again, as the IS-6, as the Lurber, as the IS-3 Defender, the IS-5, etc. There are a lot of tier 8 premiums, heavy tanks available. But there hasn't been a British one yet, and that situation is to be rectified very shortly. I was given a tank on my press account in the WGPR clan, the Wargaming Press clan. Yeah, I decided to take it out for a spin just to see how it handled in the field, what it could do, and obviously, if you look at the hull itself, it kind of handles like a fat-assed, fat-bottomed Centurion. It's a bit sluggish in terms of driving around. It kind of looks like a medium, but then again, it isn't. It is a heavy tank. In real life, the Chieftain was a development of the cruiser line from the end of World War II, of which the Centurion itself represented the pinnacle of it. But there was another feature on the Chieftain itself. It introduced the reclining backwards, the supine driver, and having the driver sitting in his seat, sort of leaning backwards, allowed the height of the hull to be reduced, making the hull less tall, and also allowed for a fairly sloping frontal plate. And we all know from real life and from this little tank game that sloped armor is effective armor, because putting the armor at an angle introduces its effectiveness. Couple that nicely little sloped front plate to a fairly good turret with a very thickly armored front, weak sights, and a gun with, as you can see here, pretty good gun depression. Then you know how you have to play the game. Then you know how you have to play this tank. It is a hull down tank. It hasn't got the big stopping power from a lot of the tier 8 guns at 310 and 400 alpha. It's 225 on average, which means that you can, well, sort of think, well, I'm having a fairly good game over here, but then again, you're only doing 2 to 2.5k damage, so that is slightly annoying. But the gun has a good rate of fire, it's got good DPM. We will get into the stats after this game just very quickly, and then some armor profile stuff as well. And we'll finish up with 3 more. The game we're watching here is the really first one I played on the Chieftain in real life battles. It has been on a test server, obviously, so I had done a few against bots already. You can see one of the problems, like I mentioned, it has 225 alpha per shot. That means I can knock off 216 of this T29, and if he penetrates me, which he will do over here, straight through the front plate, he's on top of me, so all that sloping and added armor is not going to help me. I can knock off 225 in one shot on average. He knocks off 310, and that's a tier 7 heavy tank. None of the British tanks are known for their big alpha damage shots. So yeah, if you put it that way, if you've driven the there we go, KV3 straight through me for 408. If you've driven a Centurion, if you've driven a Carnarvon, if you've driven other tanks, then you will know what this tank is about. It's about DPM, a gun, and being a bit more patient. You can see that KV3, he shot me for 400, but I managed to put 2 into him for the price of 1. And if you manage to dunk that big frontal hull and turret into an ISU 152, then you will be able to bounce a few shots. And if you rush your kill shot, then you shoot the side of his superstructure and you will bounce a shot too. But it's all well and good, it can happen, but it does show that you have to be careful with this tank. I had played one game on Black Goldfield. There was an LTTB sitting behind one of the houses around the A cap, and he bounced a few shots off my turret while I was sitting hull down capturing A, and he began typing in the battle chat, OMG, another OP premium tank. I highly doubt this tank is OP because of the way it moves around, and why it isn't OP I'm going to show you just now as we dive into the stats and numbers. Because an OP tank has a feature that can be abused by even the weaker players to really perform massively. And you can see from here, from the Chieftain T95, in terms of firepower, it really has people doing a lot better, most of the tanks on the tier, except for the rate of fire. And you can see in terms of gun handling, it's very good. The T34 and the lolz are about on par. In terms of movement and mobility, pretty much the same as the rest of the tanks. But take a look at the frontal armor, really good. It's in the front of the tank that all the armor is, and that's, yeah, I'm beginning to repeat myself. But as I have to play this tank, I'm swapping into the premium shells now, as you can see here. Even with the premium shells and when adding calibrated shells, the penetration power isn't really good, so couple that to low alpha, and that means you have to expose yourself quite a bit. I don't think I want to fit a rammer. My rate of fire is good anyways, my DPM is good anyways, and I'm fitting calibrated shells because I want my shells to penetrate. I'm going to use the extra armor, high speed velocity shells as well to improve the muzzle velocity and really hit targets. And then I'm also using, like I said, added hit points and a vertical stabilizer. Those bits are fitted only in the last replay, by the way. Already halfway into Armor Expector. This is from the perspective of an ISU 152. And from the beginning you could see a lot of green and ways to penetrate it, but that's where he hit me. 549. Look at the effective armor, 524 over here, 517. There's a lot of effective armor. It's thick as it is, but it's rounded and sloped. And if you put it at an angle like this, don't overmatch, don't overangle. You will get shot in the sides. You might catch an occasional shot on the track, but you can't really side scrape in it. This is a hull down tank, where you will have to move from one position to another. And if you can do that, then you can bring home the bacon. Next game brings us up on Falls Creek, as you can see here. We have 4 heavies, Red Set 3, it's Supremacy, so it would be a good thing to go into the C-cap. Some more shooting behind me, some wrestling done behind me, Tiger B and IS-3. And I'm a bit curious now because there's no one spotted, and I really don't want to go in balls deep, charging in onto the C-cap, capture it, and then get shot from someone who's on top of me or shooting from above. That's not what I want to do. There's an IS behind me, there's an 87 behind me, so that means we can go in. Oh, hello IS-6. We managed to shoot him, we managed to bounce on because of the troll front. We can shoot the Tiger, track him in place, thank you very much, that's lovely. Now they can hopefully capture C as well. But there's still an IS-6 over there. And you can see I have no problems going through his side. If you take a look at the front, there it is. Angled, lower plate angled. We can shoot him again. We have to watch out for that AMX over there. And he can go through our side, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, you have to be careful with the tank. You have to put it at a hull down position because that's where your armor is. Things are going to be a bit nasty over here. Because there's an 87 that wants to get out and an ISU 152 wants to get out, so I decide to go forward anyway and take one for our troubles. Otherwise my team would die anyway. And this is something that the Chieftain can do pretty effectively. Sit here, hide the hull, show only the turret to that Indian pens, and there we go, we bounce a shot, we can shoot him in return. Nice trade-off, really. But there's a T49 as well, which is annoying. There is still that Borsig behind me. Can I shoot him? No, HE. Not available. Back to AP. Where is that Borsig? Can't see him. Oh, annoying. Yeah, negative. I don't like this either. Still can't shoot the T49. Luckily he hasn't got the derp gun. IS is going to take care of him. There's an Indian Panzer. Let's see how this tier 8 premium heavy tank does it in a little brawl. The Borsig finishes off our ISU. This shot bounced on his top plate probably. Like I said, the pen isn't spectacular, 217, so in terms of hit points done. And you can see what was happening on that Indian Panzer. He's got a good gun, he's got a good front plate where we bounce off. He shoots one over our engine deck because we know how to brawl. We bounce one on him, maybe on his gun, apparently from that damaged gun icon. We can shoot him in the front plate now. There we go. Turn around, turn around, turn around. He goes to our side, bounces one on the turret. Kill shot. Nope, we miss him. Can we bounce another one? Nope, we can't, but we can kill him now. There we go. Thank you very much. Into a little brawl. Bam! Straight into them. Face hug them. Keep that turret pointed forward, and if possible try to do face hugging brawls on slopes where you can really troll the armor around. If you're on flat ground, they will probably be able to go straight through your front plate if they manage to shoot it. So while you are on a reload, try to use the gun to block shots, that kind of stuff. But then again, this isn't really a tank for brawling. This is a tank which is to be used. Hold on, and we're going to show you just that on Vineyards, a supremacy game in, well, technically tier 9. We're middle tier, and I'm a bit slow, but I want to try and spot the A cap, because logic dictates. Split, so you never know. Logic dictates Reds will try to capture A, and lo and behold, they are doing so. They have 4 mediums and a light tank. Why would they not capture A? There it is. Can we shoot him? No, we miss him. That's unfortunate, but we're nicely held down. We've got cover from that little house on our right. There it is. Hello, Type 61. I can shoot you, and you can bounce me. Did you see the tracer? Lovely. Armor turret, straight up. There's a T49, he's going away, love it. There is a sand, and he bounces one on his top deck. Good stuff for him. But we're spotting people, we're using the gun depression, we're using the mobility of the tank, which it does have. We're using the accuracy of the gun to track this Centurion into place. We bounce another shot, there we go. We shoot one and bounce him again. Can we shoot you now? Yes, we can. No, we can't, we miss him. Don't know what happened, but hey ho, we are bouncing shots and we're being pretty effective. We're keeping 3 tanks at bay, at Panther 2 at Type 61, straight through your front, and you miss me. Thank you very much. So as long as we can stay over here, even though we have 1 less cap than the Reds, we should be alright. Probably be good to reposition now, go further forward a bit. There's another little cap over there. Quick shot dunks into the ground, but we're held down again. We can overwatch the A cap. We have captured B, and by sitting over here, we're denying anybody from basically resetting C. Panther not available. There it is. Defender is available. Straight through his side armor. He's backing off. Yes, he is. There's someone on my left. Oh, hello. I can shoot you. Yes, we can. Hit him on the tracks and his EMRS, so he's repairing and rushing into some of our tanks. Can we shoot you again? No, we can't. We're not going to overexpose. We have 2 caps. Should be easy now to get this sorted. I can't shoot the 61. What we're gonna do, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do. He's going to rush us. No, he isn't. So let's put the pressure onto him, see what happens if we go rolling in. We shoot him through the front. We should be able to finish him off now. But he's got good gun depression too. And we bounce one on the front plate, which he does his utmost best. It's utmost best to survive now, but we're in trouble. There's a big ISU over there. He's in an ideal position, that Type 61. He can put his lightly armored front plate at such an angle that it becomes an auto bounce zone for me, as you can see over here. We've managed to hit him twice. The gun on the Chieftain is that good. We bounce one on our front plate going forward because reloading. You can't shoot me. There we go. Ram kill. Yes, we're a heavy tank. He's a medium, so we ram him and we get whacked. There we go. By the I3 defender. So this little game, and I'm by no means an expert in a Chieftain or even a real good player that can really put this tank into brilliant gameplay. This shows, in my opinion, the strengths and weaknesses of the Chieftain. You have to go hold down, you have to be patient, and if you rush, even though you have good DPM, you have low alpha damage, so it's not much of a fear factor. And if you go guns blazing YOLO mode Rambo style, then you will die in a hail of gunfire. Which is good if you're a Hollywood actor, from time to time I guess, because it looks good on camera, but it doesn't look that good in Blitz. What does look good in Blitz is know what your tank can do and then play to its strengths. So after getting some of the footage sorted and loading it into Filmora to try and edit it, I decided, well, let's get the Chieftain out again. Let's use some of the gold and the spare parts I have on my press account and use the, what is it? The calibrated shells, obviously, and the optics and improved assembly modules thingy dingy, and use that together with vertical stabilizers. Let's get some hypervelocity shells in there. There we go, shooting the Falcon, and let's get the improved traverse or improved control. I don't know what it's called, but it's giving you more traverse. Let's get that in there. And I kind of found out instantly that using that little setup gives you a lot of possibilities with the tank, more possibilities with the tank than before, because it just moves around just a bit better. This IS-3 turns away from me at a very unfortunate moment, because I then managed to bounce one. We can put one through its front plate, and normally 289 would be a one-shot for a lot of tanks in the game at tier 8, but the biggest problem is this is the Chieftain. We dunk one into the ground, we are one tank down, we're capturing it, which is good, but you can see we need two we need 2 shots to kill this tank. And that's unfortunate. We're lucky here because this Falcon, the T95 with the new camouflage, which has been added in 4.6 as well, or 4.5, sorry. Yeah, he dunks one into the ground, allowing us to go in there and kill him, and then we bounce a shot on our angled front plate, which is good. And the penetration numbers aren't spectacular, but they're good enough to go through the top of a tortoise. So having that calibrated shells fitted with 212 on AP is enough to go through the cupola of a tortoise, and even that little side machine gun port. Like I said, calibrated shells, improved modules, improved optics, supercharge with the added muzzle velocity, enhanced armor on this one. You might want to do hit points as well, but I had enhanced armor fitted, improved control, and vertical stabilizers. And I think that setup gives you the best for this tank because of the gun handling. You can see I have to expose very little of the tank, except for the cupola on top, which is unfortunate, so the tortoise could shoot me. I would have wanted to go around the other way of a hill to attack him, which would have hit my cupola. But I had no choice on this one. He had to go down. There's a Borsig over there. Is he looking at me? Yes, he is. Oh, he's really looking at me. And he missed. Thank you. Bye-bye. No, 237. You have to be, of course, on your toes, map aware as well to drive this tank. But I like it. I like this tank out driving around. It is, like I said, it will be available in Blitz very soon. There will be a news article, as far as I'm told, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, on the portal, showing you what to do. Here I'm overexposing my drive wheel to the Tiger 2. Should have just waited. We are far up ahead in points, and that RU is still, yeah, full health, 2/3 health. But this is a position which the Chieftain likes, being a bit higher than the enemy, so you can use the gun depression. There we go, he's driving away, using the gun depression again on his turret top. Bounces, unfortunately. But we can kill him now. There we go, for a whopping 35. He bounces another one for good measure. We would have been killed otherwise, but we drive back just enough to bounce a shot and then dunk in the kill shot. And that gives us a nice little mastery on the tank to spice up the review. 1304 only on XP, but then again, this tank hasn't been played a lot on the server. Do expect that bot to go up to 1450, 1500 maybe, as it becomes available and more people will drive it. As for now, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. I say cheers and epic tanking. Keep an eye out on the news portal for news on how to acquire the Chieftain T95.